welcome to the Australian Gamer Podcast. I'm Barry.
I'm Matt.
And this week we'll be talking about the new Tribes game,
The new Hitman game.
the EB Expo.
Luke and Jay have an interview with Randy Pitchford.
Yes, WoW for iPhone.
Battlefield 3 DLC and DLC in general.
Yes, and also Brink, because we just had a look at that.
We just had a bit of a play. The Australian game of Poker Night / whatever the fuck it turns into after people have a few drinks.
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Yep.
Ask Creed Bros.
Ask Creed Bros, which
Yes.
doesn't sound good.
I think it's a hard game to set up. The creating of asses.
The rise of indie and DLC trilling the void.
Trilling the void, that's
Trilling
it.
the void.
Filling the void between major releases, which seems to be happening quite a lot of late.
Yeah. Also, that was actually our last topic. I thought the next line was something else, but it's actually not. So
No,
I should probably have ended on a conclusionary note.
Yes, like so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can start off with the new Tribes game if you want. I don't know if you saw it, but it's been quite a few years between the latest Tribes game and what has just been announced, Tribes Ascension or Ascend.
Yeah, we used to play, me and Yogi used to play quite a bit of Tribes back in the day.
Yes, I spent
as a lot of people did.
Yeah,
'Cause
many
you
a
could-
LAN.
Yeah, you could just like throw it on a computer and it would run on anything, and it just ran smoothly and was fun, and you had weapons and guns and vehicles.
It was one of those just pick up and play. You did not need any sort of instructions. Left click, shot, right click, probably through reloaded or through a grenade. Or
something like that. It was a very, very fun game, very cool. And it's interesting though because games like Tribes have come along. Like Tribes hasn't come along, but
the
a lot
genre.
of the space it filled, I think, has been filled by other things. In terms of, I noticed, for example, Unreal, like the Unreal Championship type games.
Yep.
That genre has moved a lot more into Tribes territory than what it started out as, which was much more deathmatchy. It sort of became more
definitely. It they went sort of that, I mean, it was always post-apocalyptic or post, in the future and stuff like that. But they got into more of the vehicles, more of the big open maps, and like the take the points and move on to the next point and stuff like that. They still never captured the jetpacking though. Tribes was very much about jetpacking.
That was the best thing about Tribes, I think. That knack that you got for the jetpack, like using it properly to get distance and height and speed and stuff without just trying to haul yourself into the air. And it was very, very fun. I liked Tribes for that.
It was, and the two screenshots that have been released show someone jetpacking.
Of course,
because it's Tribes, and someone shooting them.
Right.
So,
does it by any chance show someone taking command of a transporter and crashing it? Because if it doesn't, it's not really successfully capturing the Tribes experience.
That's true. Look, there's only 2 pictures, and it's just there's a Tribes game coming. This is what it's called.
I'm not surprised that I'm sure we'll see more.
Yes,
much more of Tribes.
Yeah.
Which and a welcome return, and I hope it keeps to its fun, big maps.
It looked like
flying.
a pretty big map. There looked like quite a lot of air. There was a lot of height in the maps as well.
Excellent.
And it looked very bright, which I liked that.
That is true. That was something that Tribes always did, wasn't it?
It was never dark. It
was often like sandy, outdoors, full sunlight.
It's as if you're looking at the new photos of the new Tribes game.
Excellent.
So
well, I approve. Sounds like they're onto a winner.
That's it.
I've never had any issues with Tribes, so I'll be keen for more.
Yes.
The new Hitman game we don't know too much about either, but that was announced last night?
Yeah, 7:30 this morning or something like that. So new Hitman game coming. I watched the trailer of it and...
Absolution, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, I don't really know, but I'm going to go on record saying yes.
I think it was Absolution. Hitman I find Hitman a really quite fascinating game because we in Australia have games like Mark Echo's Getting Up were banned because they promoted crime, which was one of the few titles to get banned for that reason.
Spray paint. Oh
yeah, and that was for graffiti, which is illegal and so encouraging. Yet murder for hire has never been questioned. Did you ever find that just not only weird but like kind of fucked?
Well, but see, that's the thing. Like all of these games, like any sort of army game, it's murder for hire in a very overarching sense.
You're treading on some fairly controversial territory.
I was meaning
more. You want to discuss Bin Laden for a while?
Well, there's a CS map, so
that's something I wanted to talk about. That was going to be one of our topics.
But yeah, we all forgot that. But anyway, look, I'm rubbish at Hitman. Stealth games, I'm just really, if I can't just pull out the machine gun and...
Hitman to me was one of those games that worked really well when it worked.
Yeah.
Like when you got that, I see this is an approach and this will work. And
from what I can understand, though, the last one, which I think was Blood Money, like every man and his dog just raves about that game. And
yeah, I haven't played the Hitman games for a long time. Yeah. I must admit.
Hitman 2 was the last one. And
I think I tried to play Blood Money, but it didn't run on my machine at the time, which of course it would now. But,
yes.
I have quite a fondness for the Hitman games, partially because there are a lot of really cluttered spaces in gaming. There is a lot of games that are all the same essentially, and you particularly in the war, the field of battle,
theatre.
And Hitman doesn't. Hitman sort of stands alone in a genre, and I think a genre of its own creation as well.
Yeah, and I mean you've got sort of like your Splinter Cells and your Metal Gear Solids. They maybe not Metal Gear Solid, but definitely your Splinter Cells, they come close to that.
But they're a very different feel,
yes,
too.
Yes. Yeah, you're very, you're doing it for Uncle Sam as opposed to Hitman where you're doing it for the cash.
And the morality involved is very dubious, and that gives an opportunity to tell quite an interesting story, I think. Whether they've really used that ability, I'm not sure because I haven't played enough.
Yes, I'm certainly hope they don't go off the movie.
I haven't watched the movie, but it is famously horrible, and I'm enthusiastic about seeing it at some point.
Fair enough. Up next, we have the EB Expo, which was officially announced last night or today or something.
Oh, was it only officially announced then?
There was always, it was like, coming soon, we're going to tell you what it is. And I see. We know what it is, but now we know where it is and when it is, which is middle of October this year. What's going to be there?
Wait, that's a when?
That is?
Yeah.
Yes.
But you also said where? Yes,
Gold Coast Convention Centre.
Did you say that?
Not yet. I hadn't got to that yet.
Well, now you have.
That's true.
Okay.
And also what's going to be there. They're having the finals of the World Cyber Games in Australia. Yes.
Excellent, yes.
Look, it just looks like a big old show.
Yeah, well, EB will be able to do one thing that other event organisers haven't been able to do, which is to get publisher support, because they're motherfucking EB and the publishers will support them. They've got a name, they've got a brand, and they've got this sort of huge outlet to promote it. So I could see this being very successful for EB, whether it's entirely good for the game industry or whether it's going to be a great event itself. I reserve judgment on.
That's it. But look, let's face it. How many gaming events in Australia are there currently?
Well, there's none left. Yeah. It's over. So sometimes a not amazing event will be better than nothing.
Than no event whatsoever. Look, if it's really good, hopefully it'll kick some of those other ones off again.
Is that location the only location?
Yes. I don't know. Why?
So they're only doing one, and it's on the Gold Coast.
Yes.
That's weird. If you were doing one event in Australia, where would you do it?
Well,
let's assume you don't fucking surf.
Okay.
Wouldn't you surely be in Sydney? Wouldn't you do your own event?
But I don't live in Sydney, so if it was my event...
No, if you were not an idiot.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? EB have their trade show. Their industry-only sort of trade show, which is at the Gold Coast. Yeah. And I think it may be just a 2-for-1, or probably not a 2-for-1, but... They know how that centre works. Right. They know all the people for that centre. They know all the event coordinators. So they'll just do
the same event and just
let the public in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and have a little section for the World Cyber Games.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, if it's what they know. And they may be also testing the waters with that. And, next year maybe we'll see Sydney and Melbourne or something.
Yeah, but the thing is as well, like, those ones that were sort of in multiple cities, like, they maybe didn't really make enough cash as a franchise to keep up, so maybe they're just like, fuck it, we're going to do it in the Gold Coast.
Well, the problem with them though is that they had to rent a huge space and couldn't charge much to people because they didn't get the support from publishers and stuff that they needed to keep it financial. So EB probably won't have that problem, and they could probably run it successfully and commercially anywhere they wanted to.
Yeah.
We'll see. It also depends what they want out of it. What do EB want out of this? What is the goal here?
Get people to trade in their games to get in the door.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe you go in there and there's like a giant box of used games.
Surely they're going to have a big showing for shit for sale. They'd have to.
Yeah, well, they've always had kind of stands at the conventions previously.
But I think anything that promotes gaming, buying games, being about games, that's got to be good business for EB. That's what they do. They sell games.
Yeah, I get that.
So sort of, like getting people to come in, special guests. I never really understood special guests at gaming events. Yeah, here's a voice actor. Yay. Okay. Yeah. But that's just me. But so I think it's just good business for them. Anything that promotes games and is about games, they can shill out and just sell as much as they want.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, and look, they're in it to make money, and so that's what they do. In hindsight, we should not put our lists on the iPhone.
No,
because
I think not.
It constantly the screen
keeps,
goes black,
turning off and shit.
Yes.
What was our next topic? Our next topic was I'm going to skip. I'm going to skip on to WoW.
Okay.
Because you and I now doing a podcast, we Barry and I have been in guilds before, and guilds
run
together
them
and
to the ground.
Run them into the ground, which is where guilds belong.
Yes.
And we've tried to organise raids together. We've been there.
We've spent a good many hours chain wiping on a giant spider.
We've also spent many a good hour running around in circles in Dalaran looking for people.
That's how you play WoW, isn't it?
That's pretty much how you play WoW when you're in a small guild. The reason I mention that is because Yug won't let me talk about WoW on the podcast, but Yug's not here.
Suckers.
But ironically, we're not actually going to talk about WoW.
No,
anyway.
we're talking about a WoW clone.
We're talking about a WoW clone on the iPhone.
Yes.
When I first heard about this, I was actually quite intrigued. Because
I was quite... I liked it. I saw the trailer. I'm like, I could get onto that. Yeah.
The concept is kind of cool that you could play... You could get your fix. It's not WoW.
No.
But it's pretty fucking close.
It's a third-person, massive online player game.
And, did you see that? Did you see what the starting characters are? The starter races are human, elf, orcs, and...
There'd be... goblins or some sort of big brutish character, or possibly
I think
blue
it was
character or something like that.
I can't remember what the other one was. Undead.
There you go.
Undead. Yeah. So
Gameloft, the people that make it, they are notorious for just going through the back catalogue of someone's games, remaking it very similar and putting it on the iPhone.
I believe Gameloft are the gentlemen and ladies that made Dungeon Hunter, which is in fact a Diablo clone.
Okay.
Quite a competent one.
Yes.
But it would appear that Blizzard and them need to talk.
Yes. But yeah, this one's called Order and Chaos.
Indeed.
It's a $7 buy-in off the App Store.
No, it's not. It's a $9 buy-in off the App Store. It's a
$9 buy-in off the App Store.
I know, because I did so.
Yes, I just merely looked at it because it costs more than $1.19. So way out of my price range.
I decided to buy it out of interest, and it was only later that I discovered something quite horrific about the game.
To be fair, I linked you that website before you bought it that said you require a Wi-Fi connection constantly to play this game.
To be fair, I don't listen to you.
Look, okay. Well, I'm glad we've covered that. But yeah, you need a Wi-Fi connection to play this game, which basically makes it... Why the fuck is it on the iPhone?
You can only play this game when you could be playing WoW, is the conclusion that I came to.
Or at McDonald's.
I'm interested to try something, and I'm going to do this when I review the game, which I will do sometime soon. Can you, in fact, play World of Warcraft through a 3G connection?
Yes, because you can play World of Warcraft through a dial-up connection.
And a 3G connection is 4 times the speed.
Yes.
So my thoughts are, if you can fucking play WoW through this connection, why the fuck can't you play Order and Chaos on the phone?
The only thing I can think of is mobile connections aren't always the most stablest things, and if you're in the middle of a dungeon and you go through a tunnel and all your network drops out and you die, you can rage at them.
Yeah, true. But you know what's better than an optimal play experience?
A play experience.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I'm not saying... I'm just...
I know you're playing Devil's Avocado.
Yes.
But, yeah. But still, the point is that it makes it useless. It's fucking useless. Yeah. And if you're looking at the game going, should I spend my $9? The answer is no, you should not. No. You should give it to me.
Yeah, yes.
Or donate it to charity. Or throw it at a bin. or something. I don't care. But the game is useless.
Yeah.
If you are in fairness, though, there are a lot of places around the world that aren't Australia, and some of them are, like, particularly in the US. San Francisco, for example, is entirely Wi-Fi. The entire city is Wi-Fi.
Where does WiMAX come into that? Like, you know,
WiMAX is basically a type of, it's kind of 4G.
Yeah, but is it classed as a wireless network?
Yes, but so is 3G.
Okay, fair enough.
So
yeah, you still shit out a lot.
Yeah, it's still not. It's not the same type of technology. Okay. It's and it's not really that available anyway. So.
Yeah, and look, it just makes the entire game pointless. Yeah,
the game is pointless.
Yes,
it's just WoW. It's everything bad about WoW. There's global chat full of cockwits and elitists who've been playing the game now for 4 days and think you really should know this shit. So yeah, that's it. There's not much more to say.
No, look, there's not. But I have a lot to say about Battlefield 3 DLC.
Now we were gonna argue about this, not because I disagree, but just because.
Look,
because you're wrong rather than that I
Fair
disagree.
enough. My major gripe is that Battlefield 3 isn't even out yet, and they've announced DLC for it, which is coming like a week later. I'm sorry, put that in the fucking game and then make new DLC. Like, if you've got that shit ready to ship when the game is ready to ship, put it in the fucking game.
In fairness, though, if you were already going to buy the game and you were going to get Game X for $89.95, why should you now get Game X plus something else when you'd already agreed that it was worth your money to buy that? Why should they put it in?
It's like instantly, day one or day two when the DLC drops, there's people that are going to be... that don't have the DLC, that can't play on those maps. And it's like, all right, well, I want to play that, but I can't. Oh, now I need to buy the DLC. Hang on a second. Didn't I just fucking buy this game yesterday? Like, why is there new... There needs to be some sort of amnesty between when a game comes out and when DLC drops, and if it's within fucking 3 days, sorry, that should be free or in the game, or a free patch. Should be a patch, not...
Who is going to enforce this amnesty?
I'll fucking do it. I'll do it. You said...
I think this is a job for Amnesty. Amnesty International should cover video game DLC. What else do they fucking do?
What else have they been doing, honestly? But, like, that's the... Yeah, I'm not saying that... But, yeah, if a game comes... If DLC drops within a week of a game coming out, that should be a patch. Or free. A free patch.
So, you know what they're going to do?
They're going to wait 2 weeks.
They're going to wait 2 weeks. So...
Look... I know I'm fighting a losing battle here, but to me...
No. It's not that it's a losing battle.
It seems like a cock move.
It kind of is, but in fairness to the developers, and this was something that Joby was saying, and I normally try not to listen to him, but he might be right here. There is a period between going gold and going out, and that's often when DLC is generated. They often make the DLC between finishing the game and the game's launch.
I won't have an issue with them doing that if they wait a month before they release it. It just seems like...
So the point is...
It's so soon. My issue is it's so soon between when the game ships and when the DLC drops. It just seems like a cock move.
But at the same time, if they wait too long, people are no longer playing the game, they're no longer as into the game. Surely the people who want as much as they can out of this game and are willing to pay just a little bit more should get what they want.
Okay, but what about this? It's been about a month. Big start off with the game. Everyone got it. Fucking great. Awesome. Love it. Okay. Yep. All right. Kind of getting a little over this now. Yeah, look. Oh, this new game's come out. I'll play that. Oh, wait a second. There's DLC for this game that I really love, and there's new maps, and I'm going to play that now. And it gets all the people back in. It's the WoW thing.
I like that your hypothetical gamer sort of character that you've created. Then is a fuckwit. Yeah. I don't know what you're saying with that, and I think you're just making the point. I just like the way that this guy's like, yeah.
It's a dick move. I feel it's a dick move, but on the same hand, look, every cunt's going to buy it.
Yeah.
So it's going to work for EA because it's Battlefield 3. I'm probably I'm not going to buy it.
That's vague.
Well,
I'm going to buy it. No, I'm not. I don't know, maybe.
I want a copy of it, but I'm not going to buy it.
Right.
But that's why. I'm sort of part of a game website.
Yeah.
See where I'm going with that?
The DL, I see. You're keeping it on the DL.
Yes.
No, I think that If you have a problem with it, don't buy it. Like, that's my conclusion.
Obviously, look, I'm not saying I have the solution.
I actually don't buy DLC. I don't buy DLC for many games.
Except if it's Little Big Planet.
Well, if it's Little Big Planet, then it doesn't count.
It's not DLC, it's pretty hats and stuff.
Yeah, then it's hats. I've got it. Like, my good... Oh, how else am I going to get a frog head, honestly? And without a frog head, how can I live?
You are nothing.
Yeah. I do buy a bit for that, and I bought the DLC for Costume Quest, but I haven't actually played it yet. But I think that's kind of about it.
Yeah.
I'm just not that into it, like, because I don't play the shooty type games.
The only DLC I'll ever
for them.
Yeah, the only DLC I'll ever bought was for Supreme Commander 2, and it was when Supreme Commander 2 was on sale, and it cost me a grand total of $2.50 for the game and the DLC.
I think I bought something for Just Cause 2, actually, come to think of it.
Yeah, but see, like they were extra weapons, and they're not like $1 or something
it was something ridiculously cheap. I'm like, you know what? I want to shoot things with that.
Yeah, that's a 4-barreled rocket launcher. Yeah. I'll have that for $1.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of shooting people type games that I just mentioned, let's talk about Brink.
Indeed. We just played Brink not 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was about 20 minutes ago now.
About 20 to 25 minutes ago.
We need more time.
Definitely. My initial thoughts were, I don't like this game.
Yeah?
Yep. I warmed to it a little bit on the end, but I don't know, like the trailer and stuff that maybe it was just the maps we were playing, but they seemed very enclosed maps. They were very sort of, there's roofs here and there's it's to me the idea seemed to be that you could parkour all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
And maybe the maps we were playing weren't really suited for that. Sure, you could slide and you could do a few jumps, but unless you were like a full hardcore double jump, Quake 3, Quake 1, fucking all over the shop, it just didn't seem to do it for me. And it felt like I'd played the game before, and
Here's a question for you then. The issue that I had with all that slidey jumpy things, I thought it was kind of cool, and I thought what they went for, or what they were going for, was like the movement of Mirror's Edge plus combat that didn't suck.
Yep.
And that, in theory, is not a bad idea. That's a pretty solid concept. But the problem I had with it is that ultimately the movement ended up largely irrelevant. Like, dude slides around, you shoot him in the face.
Yep.
Dude runs along the wall, you shoot him in the face. All in all, it didn't seem to make any difference at all to the gameplay experience.
One thing that we maybe should say is we were playing it at the Mana Bar. The people that were there playing it had only probably been playing it. Everyone was a beginner.
Yeah.
So I think maybe in a couple of weeks when everyone's knows the maps, knows how to do the parkour and stuff like that, you're going to find there's just dudes fucking leapfrogging off the wall all over the shop, and you can't shoot them in the head because they're not there anymore. They've bounced around through walls and they've just shot you in the head.
You may well be right, and it may well be that the gameplay that emerges when people have a better grasp on it will be really, really
Look, I think
solid.
so. The other thing that I didn't, that was just sort of getting to me was, to me, it didn't feel like a $90 game. Now, to be fair, in America, it's not a $90 game. But in Australia,
that is worth pointing out. There was actually a thread on Reddit where people were talking about, essentially, I believe the topic of the thread was "fuck you, Bethesda," and I didn't kind of bring that up when talking to them today. But
no, that's fair enough.
The difference in price between the US and the Australian one on Steam is horrific. It is what, $40 US?
It'd be anywhere between $40 to $45 to $50, and in Australia it's $90.
Yeah, so that difference in price is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even
the price. Like, come on.
Even if you take into account the fact that the exchange rate isn't normally this high and really probably shouldn't be this high. Seriously, what the fuck?
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's an age-old Australia gets fucked to deal with it. We have to deal with it, or get VPNs working to buy it from Steam.
The interesting thing was I read an article the other day talking about this and talking about the price of DLC, and they essentially, sorry, not DLC, but digitally distributed software in general. So things like Photoshop.
Yep.
And Adobe software, which the difference can be thousands of dollars between Australia and the US, and they used Adobe's line of price differences are based on like the market's bearing on, like, the market's value of the product and stuff like that.
So because it costs $5,000 in Australia, they sell it for $5,000 in Australia.
Exactly. So the fact that people will pay it is why it costs that much. And I think we have that issue here a bit. And the other thing that they pointed out is that a lot of the time the download version has to match, or at least reasonably match, the boxed version in stores.
Look, and that's it. And that's something that I've heard as well, that Steam just can't sell it for $50 because they'll put every retailer that sells PC games out of business because they just cannot physically sell it for $50 in the shop.
So here's a question then. The fuck do I care?
Yeah, look, I'm avocadoing
here, but is that my problem? If a business model has gotten outdated and obsoleted by existing technology and better ways of doing business, is it time for that business to go?
Okay, here's the thing though. How do you buy your Xbox games?
From the store that no longer sells PC games.
Okay, so you just reckon, sure. But there's the thing, that people that have multiple consoles and multiple platforms, are now
going to choose the PC version that's $50.
Yeah. Now, would the ACCC get on their high horse about that?
What about what? People buying games for a legitimate price?
No, but buying it for the PC because essentially it's double the price for something else. Like, that seems like something that they would get about.
That doesn't seem like something they would cover. I mean, people charging less money for something because it's cheaper, that doesn't seem like an ACCC issue. It seems like to me it seems like a competitor issue. Anyway, we're getting way off topic. We're getting way off topic, but I do think it's an interesting topic, and I do wonder if there's a future for some of these.
Look, I just don't think that. Like, I enjoy, as I said, I was warming to Brink towards the end. I was getting a bit more hang of it. Like, some of the controls felt a little bit funny. Like, what I used to do is what was run in this game was something else. And I mean, like, I think once we play a little bit more, we'll get a better hang of it. And obviously, give it to me on the PC over any fucking console.
Yeah, of course,
it's a shooter. But as I said, it just, to me, $90 buy-in is just too steep for this game. I feel like I played it all before.
I worry a bit that it doesn't have enough new to offer as well. Yeah. So I'll be interested to give it more of a go, but that's my initial conclusion.
Yeah. What we've got next is the trilling the void between major releases that indie games seem to be doing of late.
Yeah, well, I've been looking a bit on Steam as well and on Xbox Live, and I've been looking at the PlayStation Network. Lol, just kidding. And you're right. There's quite a lot of surprisingly interesting, innovative titles coming out.
I've been really looking at as I did the game in the nutshell on Last Standalone, which was just a $10 buy-in for a single mode of a game. But there's quite a few other games of like Outland for PC. Not for PC, for Xbox and the PlayStation Network. So for Xbox. Then there was also quite a few on Steam, which I found interesting. One was Section 8 Prejudice, which looked to me like
I thought that looked like Tribes.
I was looking at it, I'm like, fuck yeah, this looks like Tribes. I'm going to have this. And then it's like, there's a new Tribes game going. I'm like, okay, all right. But that's actually made by the people that make Fear.
Oh, really?
It is. Now, it's a multiplayer-only game. It's been out on the Xbox Live for quite some time, and apparently it's really good.
Okay.
$15.
I did see something about it on Xbox, and I did wonder, what are people playing it on? What is the platform du jour?
Well, it's a shooter, so it should be PC.
PC, yeah. Cause,
fuck aiming with a bloody thumbstick.
Yeah.
Could jam that up
there was another one that I saw that looked quite interesting I think it was called Dropship.
Okay.
On the Steam, and it was quite interesting. Steam seems to be full of 2D physics-based platformers at this point, and that's all right because some of them are actually pretty cool. And one thing I really like about them is they're often doing really interesting things, which I'm not seeing happening a lot in the
main thing I like
games.
About them is it's a really interesting thing, and it's like a $10 buy-in or a $15 buy-in.
Yeah, it's not a big risk, is it?
No, if it's like this was pretty rubbish. I only paid $10 for it.
That being said, I did just buy Portal 2 on Steam as well, so I am willing to spend money on Steam.
No, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be. I'm just saying.
No.
I like that you can take $45 to the Steam store and you probably get maybe 3 or 4 indie games, but reputable publishers behind them.
Yeah.
And they look like a lot of fun. And
they're often, very good ideas. And they're often able to do things with graphics that are really interesting as well that we don't see.
And I, as always, with the Steam network, or the Steam platform, you see someone playing, and it's like, what's that game? And it's like, oh, I'm going to have a look at that. Oh, yeah, all right. It's... I guess that works same with the Xbox Live Arcade or your friends list and your PlayStation list.
Yeah.
And, you see what people are playing, and if you want to, you can go get it. But I need, with the Steam, especially, you can right-click and go, buy this game.
Yeah?
Or
really?
launch this game, and it takes you to the Steam site where you can buy this game. You don't have to go, right, I need to remember that game so that I can, I can then go to the relevant page or get my Microsoft points, and then, you can do all that.
Nice, I didn't know that. I actually don't use Steam that much for I've got 2 friends. I don't have you on there.
Loser.
I should add you.
Yeah.
Is it Angus McBangus?
It's just Barry McBruce will work. I've changed it so you should be able to find me on that now. Yes.
That's
not for you.
No,
not for you. You can still search for Anus McBain. Definitely. Okay. You can search for Anus McBain and you will find...
and will.
Yes, good. I had quite a few people add me. So
did you? After the podcast?
After the
Excellent.
one last week, so that was good.
What else were we talking about? We want to talk about the poker nights.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few things happening in the AG community that we want to talk about on the AG site.
Definitely. Monday nights, we'll start with the actual the officially sanctioned AG
Monday Night Poker Night, which tends to turn into
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood multiplayer. Ask Creed Bro,
and occasionally other things as well. So jump on that, do some pokering.
Yes.
And then do some...
Usually kick off around about 8 o'clock on a Monday evening. Check the forums for more information.
Ooh, very nice. I like the way you did that.
It was good, wasn't it?
It was good. I probably shouldn't have referenced it. I should have just let it slide by.
Yeah.
The other thing that we wanted to talk about was that we have an interview coming up with Randy Pitchford from...
Epic? Is he from Epic?
Gearbox. Coming up from Gearbox that Jay and Luke have done, and I wanted to mention that. It should be up by the time this podcast is.
Yes, my understanding was there was an embargo on it, and which is lifting currently tonight. So check that out. So that should be good. I don't know if it's a video interview. I know
it is a video interview. So that should be good. Definitely give that a look. And the other thing that we wanted to talk about is a competition that's just gone live on Australian Gamer.
Massive competition.
Very, very cool comp. Want to win it myself. One of, was it 10? 10 double passes to a gaming event in Sydney where you
might just be 10 passes.
I thought they were double passes.
Well, check the forums.
We don't know. Check the forums, find out. Or check the front of the site.
Check the front site. Yes, fuck the forums. Go to the main site.
Who gives a shit about those people?
Yeah,
so have a look at the site and there's
10 passes or double passes to go.
They are passes regardless.
Yes.
So 10 passes of some nature.
You need to get yourself to Sydney. You will not be...
Yeah, so you will not be being flown to Sydney as part of this deal.
It's not that good a competition.
No. But you can play Alice the Madness Returns, is that it?
Yes, and Shadows of
the Damned?
Shadow of the Damned, that was it. Yes.
Sorry, we did look this up earlier, but we don't have it immediately visible. Shadow of the Damned, I think, is a really interesting name because it's really not an interesting name. It's oddly generic, and I don't know where he's going with that. But the game is made by Suda51, and he's quite famous for doing some really weird shit.
Yeah, he's pretty nutty.
And the reason I mention that is because he's there.
Yeah, so he will be there, and American McGee
will also be there.
American McGee's Alice and Alice Madness Returns.
Yeah, so you'll be able to meet the developers of the game and talk to them and basically kiss their butts and say how awesome they are, or criticize them for...
Tell them their shit.
Yeah. You could do either one of the... Yeah. If you've played... what's it? Earth, Sand and Water, I think it is.
That's Captain Planet.
No. It was a game that was on the PlayStation, and then made it to the DS. It was one of the most painful games I've ever played, and it was brought to you by Suda51, and it was fucking shit.
Yes.
Mention that to him.
Maybe bring that,
if you do meet him.
Yeah, but Jay and Luke are going to be there on the night.
Indeed,
if
Jay and
you're
Luke
lucky enough to win.
Jane and Luke will be helping organise it.
So cock punches all round for them.
If you're either Sydney-based or Sydney close or simply quite
willing
mobile,
to go to Sydney,
then definitely
have a look at the front page and see what
page.
the competition is, because we both have no idea.
We don't. We are amazing. We are gifted individuals.
We know there's a competition, and this is what you win. How you win it is up to you.
The competition literally just went up and I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. Yeah. So that is my excuse and I will stick to it.
Now, we had one last thing on here, which was...
Yes?
We had nothing else.
We had nothing else? No, we did. We had something else.
You skipped over Jay and Luke's interview with Randy Pitchford, but we've already mentioned that twice now.
We did. Yeah, we did. So we probably shouldn't mention that anymore.
No.
But I did want to bring up that Atolabad,
yes.
I believe it was.
Yes.
CS map being created.
I think it's actually called CS_Assamabad.
Assamabad.
I don't think it's actually a Tolabad. I think it's a Assamabad.
Assamabad, I see. So it is a recreation of the very event, well, not the events in any way, but the place where Osama bin Laden met his grisly end.
According to BBC, for a new game.
Yeah, according to the BBC, a new game is being produced that has this. It was interesting that their headline said that, but then their actual article was quite clear on what it was and said it was for
CS 1.6
for Counter-Strike.
Yeah, been around for eons.
Yeah, it was weird. That was about all I wanted to mention. I just thought it was kind of funny, but
yeah, I think it's still in bad. Is it bad taste yet? Like, I don't know. It just seems like it should.
Does it matter to you?
No, it doesn't.
Are you just trying to figure out if it's bad taste so that if it is, you can do it?
How about this though? Is it giving us, the gamers in inverted commas, bad rep? You know that whole See, you know,
but that was going to happen anyway.
Yeah, I know, but
and we might as well have bad rep. It feels
like it's fuel for like we shouldn't have an R8. I don't know. It just,
if we're going to have a bad rep, it might as well be for some shit we actually did.
Okay.
Because a lot of the time it's for some shit we actually didn't do.
Yeah. Okay.
For killing hookers and getting points like you do in Grand Theft Auto, or for
just a Saturday night. Yeah. Yeah,
or for whatever, any crap they want to put in games that isn't actually in there, like the rape simulator, or that it's...
Oh, right, rape play. Yep.
No. Well, rape play actually is a rape simulator. I'm talking about how other games that are not, in fact, rape simulators are claimed to be
hot
some
coffee mod.
Yeah, or, murder simulators, training kids to kill, all that kind of shit that's just nonsense. We might as well get some bad publicity for something that actually is bad, stupid things.
No, look, that's all right. I can... All right. I'm behind it now. Everyone should get that for their Counter-Strike games that they clearly have.
I think we should end this podcast on a high note of... I don't know, the death of...
on a high note, you've got
the
nothing.
The death of someone else... and bugger off and go and do our own things.
Yes. We got, there's heaps of stuff going up on the Australian Gamers site. Have a look. They'll be doing a review of Outland.
Yeah,
shortly.
Barry and I are going to be getting into some Outland, and we want to give that a...
Yeah. Hopefully give it a bit of a nutsack treatment as well.
Indeed.
Yes.
And then review it.
Yes. All right, on that note, thank you for tuning in. And, look, it seems to be that there's a podcast going up nearly every week. So
have you guys been noticing that? We're like podcasting fools. There are podcasts everywhere. So that, by the way, is surprisingly difficult to organise because there are multiple people doing it and none of us have any idea what the others are doing.
And we're too lazy to email.
No, no one emails anyone, so it's like, we're going to do a podcast tonight. Oh, really? Because we were. How about we do ours next week and you do?
Anyway, so, stay tuned next week for maybe Yug and maybe Sarge or AJ or...
Stay tuned next week for someone.
Something. Yes. Not us, though.
Not us. No. Probably. We're off the hook. We're done.
Yeah. Suckers.
All right. We'll see you later, guys.
Bye-bye. All right. Welcome to the Australian Gamer Podcast. I nearly said I'm Matt. That's
really?
Well,
what the fuck, dude?
Because...
Do you not know you?
No, the amount of times I've heard this, it's always, I'm Matt.